Alright, so I did mine on Travis Scott, and the title is Moving Forward from the Astroworld Tragedy, the Controversy Surrounding Travis Scott. And you will see the flyer down at the bottom for his Astroworld event. Okay. Ah. Introduction. So, this took place in November 5th of 2021. It was the Astroworld Festival, a highly anticipated event featuring the famous rapper Travis Scott. This turned into a tragedy as the crowd surged toward the stage, leading to 300 plus injuries and 8 deaths. The incident sparked a wave of outrage and controversy, with many people blaming Travis Scott for promoting reckless behavior, like the idea of raging, and failing to ensure the safety of his fans. In this blog post, we are going to take a deeper look into this whole situation as a whole. So the aftermath of the situation. So after the tragedy, the media and the public were quick to criticize Travis Scott, accusing him of putting profit and publicity above the safety of his fans. The incident also sparked calls for Scott to be canceled, which is what we've seen a lot today in our culture, and a lot of people boycotted his music and merchandise. However, despite the backlash, Scott expressed deep remorse over what happened, and he took real steps to actually help others, which is next steps. And the next steps, we go into the response. So, there was a lot of mixed responses that came from this whole entire situation. So, the team themselves actually kind of handled it somewhat okay in the aspect of themselves compared to what they were dealt with how Travis decided to handle it. So, in the upper left corner, you can see an Instagram post from Travis Scott himself that says, "The last day of our tour was tonight. Very wild. To that person that blacked out, you're a hero." That person, I don't even know if he blacked out or not, or if he's actually dead, but it was one of the two. But then this kid on the right, it says, "To the kid that didn't survive the rodeo, you're a hero in my book." You can see where there might be an issue with that statement. So he also issued an apology video after those were posted because he saw the people's response was not very good. And so he came back and he posted this video that you see here with his hand on his head. Everyone turned it into a meme, so didn't have the greatest response. But then his tweet actually did kind of have some good help towards the situation, which who knows if that was truly Travis or if it was just his team telling him to post this. But he also came out and he said that he was gonna um he said that he was going to pay for the funeral costs of the victims and provide counseling and other support services for those who were affected by the incident. So that was him trying to actually have some support, and that's the action that he took towards the whole entire tragedy itself. Um, so moving forward, so there was a lot that actually happened in this whole entire event as a whole. So it's going to always have an impact on Travis's career in general, which it would have an impact on anyone. But with someone as big as Travis himself, it really impacts his legacy as such a great artist. He has came out at this point though and said that he is going to take this as an opportunity for him to learn from the incident and make changes to prevent something similar from happening ever again in the future, especially at one of his concerts, but also at others. So he's kind of advocating for people to really understand how important this was that it happened and how it's going to really never happen again. He's partnering with a number of organizations to improve safety protocols at his concerts and events, as he should. And he has really taken a lot of time not to push the envelope on me making more music and me profiting off such a thing that has all this hype around it. So he hasn't dropped an album since then, which a lot of his fans are kind of mad about, but he has partnered with people and collabed on albums. The type of crisis that this was accidental crisis. Obviously, he didn't come into this event wanting 8 people to die and hundreds to be injured. He had over hundreds of previous concerts, and this had never happened before at any of them. So this definitely wasn't the goal, and An accident crisis is when someone claims an organization is operating in an improper manner, which I believe is what the situation was, and now he's gonna take the right means to operate in the correct manner. Um, they view that he should have probably stopped the show whenever they realized something was wrong, but I think that in his eyes, not much was wrong. I don't think he really understood the real consequences of what was happening and the real severity of it. And crisis response, so I saw two types, and that was compensation and apology. So obviously, here is his apology picture from his video that he issued, and take it as sincere as you want it to be. It was still an apology, and he compensated a lot of families for the funerals and all of those sorts, which I think is why that makes this a compensation for crisis response. My conclusion, so obviously this is a horrible event that happened. It should have never happened in the first place, should have been stopped, and it probably would have saved some lives in the process. But there's nothing you can truly do about that at this point. Hopefully, you can just hope that he's going to learn from the situation. I think that his team helped him handle this in the correct way after those initial first tweets, not tweets, but Instagram post. And moving forward, all you can do is really hope that this industry takes lessons away from what happened here to ensure that they never happen again in the future. My call to action is I feel like Travis should not have waited 14 hours to acknowledge the situation, because he did take a very long time to even post about it or anything. 8 people dead and over 300 people injured is not something that can go unacknowledged. My question to you is, do you think the media should have attempted to cancel Travis Scott for this, or do you feel like he did enough to show his remorse and care for the situation?